Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay in my audio. I don't feel like we're in the headset today, so hopefully the audio is all right. It's not too windy right now, so it should be all right. First off, Happy New Year, everybody. It is January 5th. Cheers. This is to 2021. Hopefully we'll have a great year this year. I'm hoping so. I don't know. What are the trends lately? Seems like there's going to be less comic books produced this year, right? Are there going to be any Comic Cons? I don't know if the verdict's out on that yet. I wouldn't count on the Comic Cons in California. So San Diego Comic Con, yeah. I think there's 2 or 3 big cons. I know there's a Los Angeles Comic Con. There's the San Diego one. Is that it? I don't think there's one in San Francisco. I just know of the 2 major ones, Los Angeles and San Diego. So I don't know. With California being locked down, it doesn't seem likely you'll see a Comic Con this coming year here in California. In Florida, I live in Tampa. We do have a Tampa Comic Con normally every year. That's usually, I'm going to say September, usually near the end of summer. We sometimes have, Orlando, the MegaCon in Orlando. I'm pretty sure there's one in Miami every year. Those are the 3 big cities. But I think Orlando and Tampa are the 2 that I know of for sure. I'm outside. I'm smoking a cigar. I know sometimes there's noise. Work trucks, screaming kids, wind, all that good stuff to contend with. But I can't smoke inside the house, so this is the way it goes. So Happy New Year, everybody. We got Bub Collects. Good to see you, my friend. We got Manny the Comic Collector. Happy New Year to you as well. We got Malcolm Giles. I did send out a notification somewhat early, maybe 30 minutes before I did this. So, yeah, probably helps if I do it a little bit more in advance. And I also tagged a bunch of people on Instagram. I do have some comic books that came in the mail yesterday and today. So I'm going to show those off. Couple things to review with you guys. There's a really cool comic coming out. I believe near the end of this month is the release date. Grant Morrison is the writer. I'm going to review that with you. And I did post on Instagram the comic cover that I like that I'm going to go after. I already purchased one, so I'll show you where I purchased it from. If you get it ahead of time, it's sometimes a little cheaper. Not always, sometimes. I've also pre-ordered stuff, those ratio variants where I pre-order it thinking, yeah, I'm ahead of the game. And then, a month later, it's on eBay for half of what you paid for it. So that's happened to me on a few of them. That's just the way it goes. I mean, for every one that I grab early that goes crazy, there's 2 or 3 that don't do anything. So, it's just the way it is. Just a little podcast. Good to see you, my friend. Manny says the San Diego Comic Con is dead. The city leaders decided to use the convention center to house the homeless. So you can imagine the mess. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, San Diego, that usually is in the fall. So, there's still some time between now and the fall of this year to maybe, I don't know, maybe everyone by then is vaccinated. The infection rate goes way down and people start being more rational and things go back to normal. I don't know. That's what everyone's hoping. That's what we hope happens, but you just don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm hopeful that this year is going to be much better than last year. Yeah, I try to be optimistic. It's too easy to be pessimistic. It's so easy to be pessimistic. So I'm going to try to be optimistic if I can. You know, one of my friends bought this for me for Christmas. It's a nice glass. It's supposedly you can hold your cigar, but obviously it only holds skinny cigars because my acid won't fit in there. So, oh well. If I ever have a skinny cigar, I'll use it, I suppose. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm going to pull up the week in review by CovrPrice. I did get that email just today. So I'm going to pull that up. And we'll take a look at it, discuss it. Let me just, hold on a second, guys. Let me go to my email account and pull up the email. It just takes a second. All right, here we go. Share my screen. CovrPrice week in review, week ending January 3rd. So this is pretty up to date. So comic book shakers, first off, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 122. What is the reason for this book being on here? It came out in 1973, the year after I was born. It's an old book. It's almost as old as me. I guess this issue is the apparent death of Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin is pushing this key death issue to the forefront. CGC 98 copies of this book have fluctuated between $1,500 and $3,000 for years, yet we might be seeing a new high plateau. This summer we saw $3,300 and $3,600 sales, but the book price has dropped below $2,000 between those sales. ASM 122 eventually surged to $4,994 for White Pages Comic Verification Authority exceptional copy. As an aside, and for those unfamiliar with CVA, they provide an additional certification beyond the given CGC, CBCS grade. We all know CGC and CBCS graders are only humans and miss things, so CVA gives collectors and investors additional confidence that a secondary comic grading expert has reviewed the book in accordance with the grade given. The CVA certification will come in the form of a tamper-proof sticker affixed to the outside of a CGC CBCS hard plastic case. More commonly, you will see a silver CVA sticker. But for extraordinary copies of a book at a given grade, CVA will award a gold sticker. All right, so it's more reasons for the comic book industry to make money. I'm not a big proponent of grading. I mean, I have bought some graded books. Not because I was keen on just having a graded book, is that copy looked really nice. The price was pretty affordable, and it just so happened that it was a graded book. But I'm not a big proponent of getting all your books graded. I don't understand at all, you know, books that have just come out in the last couple months, people getting them graded. I mean, it's to me, it's ridiculous. It's just a way for a company like CGC or CBCS to make money off of the collecting public. I don't know. It's an older book. I can see getting it graded, especially if you've got maybe a couple copies of that book, or you have a facsimile edition so that you can read it in its original, the way it originally looked. And you can put your original copy, you know, seal it and put away so no one else can touch it or tamper with it. So I understand the concept of grading. I'm not completely saying it's ridiculous. I think for older books that you want to preserve in a particular condition, and you don't care about opening it up and reading it again because you have another copy, or you have a reader copy, or you have a facsimile edition, I think having it graded is fine. But modern books, I think it's insane that people are grading stuff. I mean, I have 8 copies of Venom #3. None of them are graded. I'm sure at least 4 or 5 out of the 8 would be 9/8 condition. You know, they were bought, put into a Mylar, and never touched again. So I'm pretty sure they would grade really high. But again, I guess the only reason for me to get a book graded would be if I really want to sell it. If I'm looking to unload it, try to maximize my return on that particular book, then I would get it graded to sell. And it would only be on a high-end book. You know, to grade a $50 book so that I can maybe get $75, $80 out of it, I don't know. To me, that seems a little pointless. But so that's my take on grading. But the marketplace is the marketplace. Everybody collects in a different way. I'm just giving you my opinion. But this CVA certification to me just seems like a total ripoff. I mean, okay, there's another company out there that some create an additional value because they added, yeah, this is 9.8. We agree with CGC. I mean, it seems ridiculous, but oh well. What are you gonna do? I mean, those are some marquee books, no doubt about it, but prices are a little nuts. I'd rather be the guy that paid $1,500 for a copy than the guy that just paid $4 grand, $4 or $5 grand. Seems like he did a little bit better. All right, All-Star Batman and Robin, Boy Wonder #8, the Neil Adams RRP. So this is a rare retailer. What's the P stand for? I think it stands for Rare Retailer Production, maybe? I don't know. Print, maybe it's print. Not too sure. All I know is, yeah, there's a lot less of these out there, that's for sure. Looks like a CGC 9.8 sold for an all-time high of about $600. That's a 50% premium over the last sale in this grade. I didn't care for All-Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder. I didn't think it was very good. Again, this was, if you recall, this was a Jim Lee drawn book. I think there were maybe 10 issues. Frank Miller was the writer. It was terrible. It was not very good. Yeah, I have a couple copies of issue #1. I think I collected the first 3 or 4 issues and then I stopped collecting. I mean, it was that bad. It was so terrible. It was not a good read. But people that love Neil Adams and want sort of a rare book, I mean, I can understand paying, you know, if you're a big Neil Adams fan and you want kind of a rare collectible. But yeah, I wouldn't spend any money on something like that. Next one is Batman 227 from 1970, classic. Again, a classic Neil Adams cover. It's a very recognizable cover. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's nice. I wish I had it in my collection, but am I going to go out and spend $1,500, $1,600 for it? No. So there was a 9.2 that sold for $2,400 this week. The prior high sold for $1,750 over 2 years ago. And I guess back in 2 months ago in November, there was a sale of around $1,600. So yeah, that seems like a big jump. I mean, I get it that that's a good Batman book. It's a minor key, right? It's a minor key. I don't think there's anything going on in that book other than a Neil Adams cover, but I think it's an homage to a golden age, yeah, Detective 31. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems ridiculous to spend that kind of money. Batman Grendel, Ashcan #1 from 1993, Silver Moon. I've never even heard of this book. There's only 25 of these printed. Super, super rare. Yeah, I mean, 25 copies. That's ridiculously low print run. I guess it could only be acquired by entering a contest. So there you go. It's a very rare book with Batman on it in Grendel. Says, in fact, we only recorded 6 total sales, one of which was a recent $800 sale for an approximately 9.6 raw sealed copy and $55 for a copy with wear. Prices seem to fluctuate wildly, so perhaps if you watch closely, you can snag a decent copy on the cheap. Yeah, I'd rather have one that's has a little wear to it for $55 versus $800. That's a huge gap in price. And of course, the next one here is Crime Suspense #22. This is a classic cover. I love this cover. I wish I could have a copy in my collection, but the prices on this book are outrageously high. The only time to buy this book would be if there's a major recession in the U.S. Maybe you can pick this up on the cheap. Right now, though, just for $3,360 is a huge price for a low-grade book. So I'm sure several years ago there were people buying this in the 5.0 to 7.0 range for way less than that. Man, they've got to be looking pretty good right now. So this is pre-Comic Code. You know, this was it's kind of a gruesome, it's a gruesome cover, right? By the way, when people get their heads cut off, their eyes do that. Their eyes actually separate. Sad that I know that, but it's true. I don't know what happens in the brain. I guess when the brain stem is severed, something happens to the optic nerves. I don't know. So the artist's depiction of the eyes going sideways like that, that happens quite a bit with decapitation. So, God, it's gruesome. But I can see why that book's hot. I mean, it's a cool cover. It's rare. It's old. A lot of comic covers pay an homage to it all the time. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool book. This is a book that I've tried to buy several times. I looked at some pretty nice raw copies in the $500–600 range. Oh man, this thing, I should have bought it. This is the first appearance of Zatanna. I have her second appearance. Yeah, 7.0 just sold for $1,300. It still seems pretty cheap. I mean, she's a major character. She is going to be appearing in the Justice League Dark HBO Max series. I have no idea if that's going to be any good. Warner Brothers seems to be striking out a lot. Wonder Woman was not very good. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was okay. It was entertaining, but I wasn't as impressed with it, near as impressed with it as the first Wonder Woman movie. I thought that was a lot better. Unfortunately, DC and Warner Brothers, they're having a rough time. I am hopeful that the Justice League Zack Snyder edition that's coming out, I'm hoping that that's going to be really good. But I will see. But this is a classic book. I definitely would love to have this in my collection at a good price. I've come really, really close to buying it a few times. And I've been looking at grades between Yeah, between 6 and 6.0 to 8.0 for a lot less than $1,000. So yeah, there was one I was looking at that was probably $750, and it might have been an 8.0. It was in pretty nice shape. It was raw copy. The cover looked great. I mean, there might have been flaws in the inside of the book, but the cover was fantastic. I mean, it looked like an 8.0 to me, and I think it was $750 for it, and I didn't end up buying. It was a buy it now too. I should have bought it, obviously. I knew that was going to be a good book. It also mentions Swamp Thing number 37, first appearance of Constantine. I do have that book in my collection in pretty high grade. My copy is probably a 9.4 to 9.6. I don't think it's a 9.8, but it looks really good. It's at least a 9.4 to 9.6. Can't keep my cigar lit for some reason. So if you can't get this book, Swamp Thing's a little bit more affordable, but that also keeps going up in value too. Next one is Invincible number 5 from 2003, Kirkman. I've read most of the issues. I never bought any of them. I just read them online. I thought it was okay. I'm not a big fan of Kirkman for the most part, but I mean, a lot of these early issues go up in price, but looks like a 9.8 just sold for $600, and a raw copy is about $155. But that series continues to have a good fan following on it. Invincible Iron Man number 1 from 2016. Riri Williams, the heir apparent to the Iron Man. SJW Land, of course, loves females. And Riri Williams is probably going to be hot for a while, until, of course, the series comes out and it doesn't do well and it fails, which is more than likely what will happen. But the Jeff DeCall 1 in 25 is selling pretty nicely. A 9.8 just sold for $440. I don't have that book in my collection, but that, yeah, it's a nice one. Next one is the John Tyler Christopher Action variant of that same issue. Raws are hitting $130. And I don't know, what is this other one? A very hard to find Amalgam Comics exclusive. Never heard of them. Sold for a massive $550 raw. Yeah, I mean, this comic book market is very, very bubblish right now. Stuff is going for crazy prices. Well, apparently, there's only 1,000 print run of this book, which is pretty rare. Marvel usually has a high incentive requirement of at least 3,000, but they made a rare special exception for this cover. Will coffee shop covers be the new hot thing for 2021? Probably not, but this is a fun cover with a fun story behind it. All right. I don't know. Nothing I would spend $550 for, but to each his own. God Country number 1, the 20-image 25th anniversary blind box virgin variant. It's a cool looking book. I do have the black and white sketch of this in my collection. I have no idea if that's going for good money now. I should look that up. Let me see what I have exactly. Let me see what I have. I got the CLZ app. I know I've got it loaded in here. Let me see here. God Country. Pretty sure I have it. Or I have a version of that. See if I have it loaded in here. Yeah, I have the 25th anniversary blind box black and white sketch. I don't know if the copy I have is more rare than that one. I don't know. But it looks like a 9.8 just sold for $775. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to research that and see if my black and white. Well, I can do that right now. Let's take a look. Let's go on eBay, shall we? Well, there's one for $70. Oh, that's not the Virgin though. That's the trade dress. Oh, there's the Virgin for $1,200, 9/8 graded. Okay, so I think I have this version right here, the black and white trade dress. I think that's what I have. Not a lot of copies for sale on eBay, so let me see what has sold recently. Got some blank covers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see too many sales of that Virgin cover. It does seem to be pretty rare. My black and white seems to be rare too. I don't see any sales of that either. So I don't know. Maybe I've got a rare comic book on my hands there. I don't know. I'll have to research that a little bit more. But I know I have the black and white blind box. I don't think it's a Virgin. I'll have to look and see it if it is. I don't think mine's a Virgin. I think mine's a trade dress. All right. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, #1, the hip hop variant. This summer, Disney announced a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur were coming to the network in an animated series. Look at that. I always think of, now remember, early in his career, he was known as Larry Fishburne. So his agent probably said, hey, we need to change it to Lawrence. It sounds a little bit more sophisticated than Larry. There's not a lot of actors named Larry. My father's name is Larry. What's funny is my brother would always call him Lawrence. So tried to sophisticate his name a little bit. But Lawrence Fishburne was always known early in his career as Larry Fishburne. So then, of course, he landed the Matrix role, and his career took off for a while. What did I see him in recently? I saw. What was that? That John. What's that movie with Keanu Reeves? I can't remember the name of it. I know he was in the John Twitch. What's his name? John Wick. Yeah, he was in John Wick. I think the second movie, John Wick 2. Lawrence Fishburne was in that. Yeah. So I don't know. Everything Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. I would probably go with the first appearance of Moon Girl. That's probably going to be a better book to go with versus this one. So I would save your money and invest it in her first appearance. Mighty Thor #1, the Deodato hip hop variant. So the hip hop variants, they were hot a few months ago. Looks like there's still some heat on those. It's a cool cover. I mean, I like Deodato Jr.'s artwork. That's pretty nice. $70 raw. You got that movie coming out at some point this year. The new Thor movie. We'll see what happens there. Police Comics #1 from Quality Comics from 1941. This is a Golden Age book. Has some first appearances. Plastic Man, Phantom Lady, lesser known characters like Firebrain and Human Bomb. So Plastic Man's probably an important first appearance. Although he's not a character that does all that well. I mean, he really can't hold his own title, but he's an interesting character, you know, and sometimes they'll put him into a comic book. Like they used him in the Deceased Dead Planet, and I thought it was cool that he was like, I don't know, he was like everywhere, attacking everybody. I just thought that was cool. So I like Plastic Man. So I would love to have his first appearance. But yeah, I mean, a 1.8 copy sold for $4,300. It's a lot of money. So yeah, that's way out of my pocketbook range. Something is Killing the Children #1, 6th print. Wow, selling for $165 raw. Man, I guess sometimes it pays to just pick up all the printings. I mean, once in a while, one of them hits. It's crazy that's going for that much money. I think I have the first and second print maybe only of #1. Yeah, I've not thought of buying all the other printings, but if you were smart enough to have done that, your 6th print right now will easily buy a lot of regular books. So you could sell that copy and easily pay for a lot of other first printings if you want. But yeah, it's a cool cover. I like it. So that one is moving still right now. Spider-Man 2, the Tedesco variant. I think I have this on. I'll have to look. I know I have Spider-Man 2. I have one of the variants. I don't know if it's that one or not. I might have that. Let me see. Spider-Man, right? Yeah. Let me see if I have it. No, I have the Acuna and the Sarah Pacelli cover. Yeah, I don't have that one. Oh, well. A 9.8 just sold for $900. Holy crap. I mean, it's a cool cover. I like the cover. But, man, if I had that in really high grade, I think I would sell it. $900. I mean, I'd sell that a X-Men 101 in pretty high grade for that same price. I think that would be a lot smarter long term. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic #42. This issue features the origin of Darth Revan and the first full appearance of Darth Malak. 9.8 just sold for $700. So everything Star Wars is just going bananas. Anybody that had the foresight to hold on to these Star Wars books that sold for nothing prior to The Mandalorian. I mean, literally, this was a $1 book probably in back issue bins. So anybody that held on to those Star Wars books, man, this is the time to sell. This is the time to sell. That's my advice. If you've got some Star Wars books that you absolutely don't love, I would sell. They're outrageous prices right now. So let me go back to the chat. I've been ignoring it for a little bit. Saw your post. Manny says, I picked up the 1 in 10 off eBay for $15 shipped. Nice. That's a good price. Yeah, we're going to go over that in a second, Manny. That book that I was recommending. Cardstock variant. Good to see you, my friend. And he says there's also a free copy of the variant of Batman Grinnell #1 that was included in the Hero #1 magazine that came out in the 1990s. RB3 says, yeah, Wonder Woman 84 sucked ass. Yeah, you'll probably get a lot of people to agree with you. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. I had some problems with it. I thought the plot was a little weak. The villain was a little weak. I don't know. It was weak, no doubt about it. Jeff Schultz, good to see you, my friend. Now you're worried about Rogue Squadron. Yeah, that is another movie supposedly coming out. I think Patty Jenkins is scheduled to be the director, so maybe she does well in every other movie. I don't know. She did well on the first Wonder Woman movie. I thought it was pretty good. She didn't do well on Wonder Woman 84, so maybe Rogue Squadron she'll do better. I don't know. We'll see. She should consult with Jon Favreau. I think that would be smart of her. Discovery Bay, good to see you, my friend. We got DT in the house. Let's see here. Yeah, do you think that's air you're breathing? That's a good line from The Matrix. Plastic Man was great in Fantastic Four. Yeah, he's a cool character. I like him. All right, let's get back to the CovrPrice movers and shakers. Star Wars Legacy #1 newsstand version. 2006, we still had newsstands. Back then, you probably could have bought them from Barnes & Noble. Not too many places, right? I think the last newsstand book I ever bought was Batman number 24. I think it was the engagement of Batman and Catwoman by Tom King. I went around to a bunch of Barnes and Nobles and picked them all up for CovrPrice, and I think I sold like 10 of them. I must have picked up 15 copies. I think I went to 5 different Barnes and Nobles, and each Barnes and Noble had 3 copies that they got in, and I got there the day or two that they got them in. So I was able to pick up 15 copies. I think I sold 10 of them for about $15 to $20 a piece. So I did pretty well. I mean, I used that money to buy a bigger book. I think I still kept 4 or 5 copies. I should have sold those too. I should have just kept 1 copy. So I don't think that book goes for much now. Tom King destroyed that section of Batman for sure. Star Wars Thrawn #1, the Francisco Mattina 1 in 50 variant. This is a book I've had my eye on over the years. Man, I could have pulled the trigger several times at that $200 to $250 range for a raw high grade copy. A 9.8 just sold for almost $1,400. Crazy. Rocky just sold $700. Yeah, I mean, I remember looking at buy it nows for $200 to $250 and didn't pull the trigger. I should have. I like Mattina, and I thought this cover was pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see. I got those Mattina Elric covers. If that Elric ever gets developed, I'm in the money on those. I got a bunch of them, but I missed out on that one. Damn. Oh well. Ultimate Team Up #5. This is kind of an odd book. Ultimate comic books didn't do too well. I guess this is the Ultimate Universe modeled their Nick Fury on Samuel L. Jackson, and I guess his first appearance was in this issue. A 9.8 just sold for $400. Man, yeah, I would definitely sell this book if you have it in your collection. That was a $1 book for sure. Dollar bin book. All right, here's a book I have in my collection. Web of Spider-Man #118. Direct edition. I'm pretty sure I have that. First appearance of Ben Reilly, I think it is, right? Yep. Scarlet Spider. He will be making an appearance in Into the Spider-Verse #2. Yeah, it's a key book. 9.8 just sold for $380. I've got a nice high-grade copy that I think I spent $40 for it maybe a couple years ago. $30 or $40 for it. I didn't spend a lot. So I'm glad I picked that up. X-Men 11, the Pressman variant. Several of Pressman board games came with an actual comic. Yeah, this is an oddball. I've never even heard of this. So there you go. If you're an X-Men fan and you're collecting odd X-Men books, this might be a good one to pick up. 9.8 just sold for $650. Holy crap, that's a lot. Rumored or option comics, Ricky Barnes. Recently, Marvel scooper Roger Wardell appeared on Twitter to share some Falcon and Falcon and the Winter Soldier speculations, specifically on how actress Erin Kellyman may be secretly playing the role of Ricky Barnes, Bucky's granddaughter, which will eventually lead her into taking on the Nomad mantle. So I guess Heroes Reborn Wizard and a Half is the first appearance. I know nothing about that, but all I know is that Heroes Reborn did not do very well. I think you had a lot of covers by Rob Liefeld. Yeah, I think it's a Liefeld cover right there. Liefeld did really well on that. I think he got paid a lot of money from Marvel to do that. Outlaw #1, the 1 in 50, as a pretty rare book. A lot of shops didn't order 10 copies of this book, let alone 50. So this is a pretty rare book. I would say there's less than 500 of these in existence. Maybe less than that. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how many shops would have ordered 50 copies. Maybe Midtown, maybe My Comic Shop, Golden Apple. There's probably a couple dozen shops that would have ordered 50 copies. But I don't trust Marvel. I mean, I think Marvel prints a lot more, and they may have given them out to other shops that maybe didn't even order 50 copies. So it says here, a book with a theoretical max supply of about 560 featuring, yeah, so somebody's theorizing there's only 560 of those in existence. That could be the case. I don't know. $800 sale just happened. It's crazy. So if you've got that book, man, that would be a good one to sell, I think. All right, guys, I'm going to refresh my drink. I'll be right back. We're going to continue with Key Comic of the Week, Silver Surfer #3. I have that book in my collection. So I'll be right back. 1 second. All right, guys, I'm back. Thanks for hanging out with me still. All right. So next we have Silver Surfer #3, first appearance of Mephisto. I love this book. I bought a nice high-grade copy. My copy's probably somewhere between an 8.0 and an 8.5 is my guess. I love this book. It's a classic John Buscema cover. I mean, they don't make comic books like this anymore. It's so nice. I love a red cover. It's one of my favorite covers of all time. So that was a book that I pulled the trigger on. I paid probably around $250 for it raw, and I'm estimating my copies around. I think it's around an 8.0 at least. So a 7.0 graded just sold for about $800. An 8.0 just sold for $1,200, and a 9.6 sold for $6,100. Man, a 9.6, that's crazy. I think at the time when I bought this, a 9.6 would have been probably at least $2,000. I remember looking at some high grade copies, $2,000 to $2,500. Man, that was a good buy. If one just sold for $6,100, that's an unbelievable buy at like $2,500, which I'm pretty sure it was around that price for a 9.6. There weren't that many around, but I think there was one on Comic Link, and there might have been one on eBay for around that price. But I was really happy to pick one up for $250. I mean, I got a really, really nice copy for $250. I mean, it's got no spine ticks, no major creases. I mean, it's in really, really nice shape. So, but I'm going to be conservative and say my copy's about an 8.0. But yeah, you're going to see Mephisto at some point in a movie, no doubt about it. He's a major villain. And that book's a major key for sure. So that's your CovrPrice week in review. Let's see what else we got going on here. Cardstock says, yeah, Thrawn is a very cool character. RB says $1,400 for a 2018 book. Yeah, it is crazy. People are going nuts right now, especially Star Wars. Anything Star Wars is going for crazy, insane money. Manny paid $43 for Outlawed #1, 1 in 50. Wow, good job, Manny. Manny, I would sell that book quick, buddy. I would sell that book and go buy a major key. Because 5 years from now, that book isn't going to be on the radar. I don't think. I just don't think it will be. So if you can get $800-900 for a high grade copy, I would sell it. I would sell it and put that money towards a major key ASM 300, maybe a major X-Men book, some key X-Men book with a first appearance. Yeah, I would definitely go that route. Southern Comic Geek, good to see you. All right, let me pull up. Trying to think of the comic book I just wanted to mention. Hold on a second, guys. Oh yeah, I remember now. All right, let me share my screen. So I saw this cover and I was like, oh man, I got to get this book. So this is a new comic book coming out called Proctor Valley Road. Boom Entertainment, Boom Studios. They put out great books like Something is Killing the Children. So, they hot books. You've got Alex Child and Grant Morrison are the writers, and you've got Naomi Franquiz as the interior artist, and you've got the Christian Ward cover. I love this cover by Christian Ward. Crazy looking bull. I don't know what this is, but it's a 1 in 10, and you can still buy it pretty cheap. I bought it from Sad Lemon. It's $7.95 pound. I think that's like $10 US plus shipping. I think I spent $17 US. I know Manny said he just bought one off of eBay for $15. Unfortunately, I didn't get it that low, but I was pretty close, $17. Sad Lemon, I've had some good luck with. I don't have any problems with Sad Lemon. I usually get everything I order from them, so I decided to go with Sad Lemon. So this is a 1 in 10. I would pre-order this book. I don't know. This could be a hot series. I don't know if it will, but I love that cover. I'm going to take a chance on it. I'm going to grab one pre-ordered for under $20. I think that's a good deal. I'm going to maybe try to pick up another copy on Midtown the week before it comes out if I can. I don't know. I think this cover is going to be hot. I love it. I'm usually right. I mean, guys, if you've been following me for a while, which I know a lot of you have, I'm usually pretty accurate at predicting what people are going to like, and that cover is awesome. So I highly recommend that you pick up a copy of this if you can. There's a couple sites selling it. Sad Lemon was one. Now, the best price would have been the Sanctum Centaurium, but they are sold out. They had it for $8. And I think their shipping is only like $5 or $6, so it probably would have been a little cheaper to buy it from them, but they are sold out on it. Black Cape Comics has it as well for $25. It's a little more expensive, so I wouldn't go with that one. Here's another one, another website. I'm not familiar with this Zombie Unicorn Comics. I have no idea who they are, but they're only asking $15 plus shipping. So you figure it's probably $20. So Sad Lemon's pretty cheap. I mean, that's the cheapest I found online. There's also a Momoko variant that I think sold out. Or a couple websites selling it. I didn't like the Momoko variant. I guess they had this sketch cover for sale. I don't know. I don't like that. And there's the sketch and the color by Momoko. I think the Christian Ward cover blows that out of the water. So I would go with the Christian Ward cover. So I think it's issue number 1. Who knows? The series could be hot. It could be another hot series by Boom Studios. I would pick it up if you can. I don't know. That's my recommendation for the week. Would be to pick up this Proctor Valley Road number 1, the 1 in 10 by Christian Ward. I just think it's a cool ass cover. All right, let's go into some comic book news. I haven't done this in a while. Going on CBR. See if there's anything interesting. Let's go through the headlines here. I haven't been on Bleeding Fool in a while either. Let's see here. I need to put my spectacles on. I can't read anymore. I'm getting too old. What do we got here? DC has long-term plans for its new Batman. Next Batman writer, John Ridley. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. To me, Bruce Wayne will always be Batman. I don't think he'll ever be replaced. We'll see. But I am picking up those future state issues just to see, what happens. But to me, Bruce Wayne's always going to be Batman. I don't think that'll ever really change. All this other stuff seems temporary to me. I don't know. DC has problems. I mean, if you guys don't know, I did another video on it. DC's March solicitations, they only have about 34 books. That's almost 40% reduced from the year before. So DC is in trouble. Warner Brothers is definitely not really supportive of comic books. I don't think they really make a lot of money for the company. Warner Brothers, and one of the reasons Warner Brothers is in trouble is because they're owned by AT&T, and AT&T has a lot of debt, and so they are trying to really look at profitability, and comic books are not very profitable. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they're not. The margins on comic book profit is very, very low financially. So the bean counters at AT&T, they probably look at comic books as, well, yeah, I mean, I get that you can make movies off of them, and they probably view them as IP, basically as IP, but that's why you're seeing a huge, huge reduction in the amount of titles being issued by DC. And I think you're going to see that happen with Marvel as well. Marvel will follow suit. They all kind of follow each other. So the comic book industry is shrinking. There's no doubt about that. That's been going on for a couple of years. Anybody that's denying that is deluded. It's just the way it is. There's always going to be people that buy comic books. I mean, I'm always going to buy comic books because I love comic books. I love stories. I like the evolution of comic books. And there's always going to be something that's appealing to me in the comic book world, whether it's DC or Marvel, Independence, Image, doesn't matter. But no doubt about it, the industry is consolidating and it's shrinking. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of people out there saying, oh, comic books are dead. Oh, they're dying. I don't believe in that. I think comic books are always going to be with us. It's a medium that still has a lot of appeal. But it seems to be right now, it's in the shrinking phase. So just be mindful of that. I'm okay with DC pulling back on their titles. I mean, I'm going to buy Batman every month. You know, there's certain titles with DC that I'm going to pretty much buy every month. Batman for sure. Detective Comics, absolutely. I'm going to buy that every month. But I'm trying to think. Aquaman, I know Aquaman's going away. His title's being canceled. I mean, I think Wonder Woman's on the verge of being canceled. There's not a lot of people buying Wonder Woman anymore. Even though she just came out with a movie, the sales of the comic books are not doing well. That's the way it is. So I think a retrench in the comic book industry is definitely happening. And 2021 is going to really show that. I think by the end of 2021, you're going to see a lot less titles being produced. And I'm going to keep tabs on this. I'm going to be watching this closely. If you guys follow me, follow my channel, I do pre-order videos going over the pre-orders that are coming out each month. And I'm going to be tracking that. So rest assured, I will be watching that closely. Let's go to Bleeding Cool real quick. See if there's anything interesting going on. All right. Marvel Star Wars High Republic has 200,000 orders. Wow. So yeah, Star Wars is hot right now. That doesn't surprise me. So Marvel's going to be riding the coattails of everything Star Wars. God, this Virgin cover. I mean, I remember Infamous telling me to buy this, and I didn't do it. $80 for both covers. Now the Virgin sells for $300 and Jesus. Yeah, I think I could have bought this too. $30. It now sells for $230 on eBay. It's crazy. Yeah, so Star Wars High Republic going for crazy money. Again, everything Star Wars right now is going nuts. So that Marvel's going to do well with that for a while. Marvel's eating DC's lunch right now. No doubt about it. What else we got going on here with Bleeding Cool? Notice all these pop-ups. I don't go on Bleeding Cool very often because it's such a pain in the ass website. Let's see if there's anything else good here. There's an article, How DC Comics Chased Away Retailers. Rich Johnston, he's a tool. I don't like Rich. Brian Hibbs, yeah, he's been an outspoken critic of DC Comics. And so far he's been correct. I mean, DC's definitely damaged themselves. They split away from Diamond, and that definitely seems to have cost them quite a bit. Yeah, I kind of agree with a lot of that. All right. Let me show off some comic books that I got in the mail. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. So let's go over. I got this in the mail yesterday. This is a Star Wars book that I posted on Instagram. I love it. This is the Star Wars Darth Vader #1. This is the Panini Italian version. You can kind of see there in the corner. Panini Comics, variant exclusive. I just love this Boba Fett cover. I think I paid $40 for this. It was in the UK. I could see this being a couple $100 book eventually. It's pretty awesome. It's in super high grade. Everything Star Wars is hot right now. And don't ignore these like Italian, French versions. I think I have also another copy coming that's also from France. That's a similar, different. It's basically the same cover but different background. I got that coming in the mail as well. I just got this yesterday. It took me a couple weeks to get it. It came from Italy. Man, I love this cover. You can buy one right now on eBay for about $60 to $70. The guy paid like $40 for it. And I just love this cover. It's just a cool ass Boba Fett cover. I can't read it. It's all in Italian. But I just think it's a cool cover. Cool book to have. So I picked that up. Another one I picked up here recently is, I got a couple copies of this. So I'm going to plug Scorpion Comics. I got two sets of the Duck Avenger, #1 by Delato. I mean, these covers are pretty awesome. Oh, this one's upside down. Sorry. So these were from Scorpion Comics. I've been dealing with Scorpion for a while now. I have all these Delato Disney covers. The Mickey, the Goofy, Duck Avenger, and then Scrooge is the 4th one. I have all of them, 2 sets of each, and they're all in super high grade. I can tell you one thing about Scorpion. They send you the book, each of them in a MyLite with a full backboard, certificate of authenticity. They come in a beautiful box. I mean, these books, I've never had a copy come from Scorpion that wasn't super mint. So these are unbelievably in great condition. I mean, they're 9/8 easily. So I love Scorpion Comics. I'm friends with the owner, Sean. He's a nice guy. His store is one of the best. If you like exclusive covers, you definitely need to be subscribed to Scorpion Comics on Instagram. Make sure you're checking out their exclusives. Usually every Wednesday at 6 p.m. is when they have a new exclusive. Not every week, but a lot of the weeks that they do. And I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with Gabriel Delato and Disney. I mean, all those books. I really recommend. I've done well. I mean, all of them I've bought have gone up in value. That Mickey Mouse especially has gone crazy. Yeah. So that's kind of what I had for you guys tonight. We got Craig69 says, I'm not here. What did I miss? Yeah, you didn't miss too much. If you got Star Wars, sell, sell, sell. I think that's a good advice. If you've got extra copies, you got something that you're not in love with, I would sell it. Rafi says, Happy New Year, brother. My Italian copy hasn't arrived yet. Hopefully you get it soon, my friend, and hopefully it's in great condition. Mine came in beautiful condition. It's definitely a 9/8. Bub Collect says, yeah, Scorpion is awesome. Yeah, I mean, they've got some great books. I'll keep you guys posted on anything that's coming up. So my pick of the week is that Proctor Valley Road #1, the 1 in 10 by Christian Ward. I love it. I think it's a great looking cover. I would pick that up, especially if you can get it under $20. I think it's a good deal. I'm going to try to pick up at least 2 copies. So I got 1 copy that I already bought, and I'll buy another one maybe through Midtown. And I think that comes out at the end of January. I think the last week of January, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys, that's what I had for you. It's Tuesday. I'm going to have another show on Thursday. I'll be drinking whiskey, smoking cigars, talking comics. Hopefully I'll have some new information for you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Send me a message. Comment on my videos. And if you can, share them. I think I'm still at like 760 subscribers. I don't know. I think YouTube suppresses my channel now. I've probably been too political on some of my channel, on some of my live streams. So I'm assuming that's why they're suppressing me. I don't know. I would have thought by now it'd be over 1,000 subscribers, especially since I've seen other channels that I think aren't near as good as mine that are well over 1,000. So the man is trying to keep me down. So if you can, share my videos with other people. That helps me grow my channel. I appreciate everybody that participated in the chat. Everybody have a great week, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. I'll put out a video on Wednesday highlighting New Comic Book Day for the following Wednesday, but that'll be just a video only, not a live stream. But I will be back here on Thursday right around this time, 5, 6 o'clock, for the Whiskey, Cigar, and Comic Show. All right, guys, have a good week, and I'll see you on Thursday.